Welcome to this demonstration of Corporator's individual accountability and conduct solution with the fictitious company Singapore Safe Exchange Investment Bank. Logging in gives us access to the main elements of the IAC solution, including governance overview, the ability to set up your IAC solution through the group admin, entity dashboards, and individual pages for senior managers and material risk personnel. Clicking into the governance dashboard, it takes us to a page where managers can get an overview of the compliance progress. This is organized under the 5 outcomes outlined in the MAS guidelines for the individual accountability and conduct. However, the activities are generic. As you can see under outcome 1, you have the activities like entities are managed and set up, core management functions are set up, senior managers are identified, and responsibility metrics are created. Under each of these outcomes, you have different activities like the senior manager's fit and proper assessments, approval processes, responsibilities, mapping and assignment, MRMs created, board informed and approved, material risk personnel are identified as well and fit and proper. And the last outcome under number 5 goes around the conduct and the conduct framework for the organization. Now, keep in mind that this is a generic demonstration and the end product would be unique to your organization. And this just shows an indication of how the solution could look like from a governance standpoint. Now, this page outlines well the main features of the IAC solution and is a good transition to introducing the navigation of the application. If I open up this menu, you can see that I have a list of items, including a list of employees, entities, and different dashboards. Second from the top, you have the group admin setup, which is our next destination. However, I would like to show a bit on the capabilities like the employees that will have their own dashboards, the entities where you can set up and map senior managers and core management functions and get an overview of the entity activities. Compliance and HR have their own team dashboards. And if you want to navigate back to the governance dashboard, you will find that at the bottom. Additionally, we have an element called My Responsibilities. Now, if you open this, you have activities like My Approvals, Breaches, Tasks and Milestones, activities that are associated with you as an individual. The system also has a breadcrumb, which allows you to navigate to sibling part of the structure and also tells you where you are. As we're navigating within the model, it will give you an indication on how to get back to the top dashboard or to other places within the solution easily. Should you want to, you can search up features here, like I can search up an individual, declaration, a task, an entity, and you can easily navigate in the model with the search. We also have this feature called a period selector, which is a component that allows you to look at your organization from a snapshot perspective if you would want to navigate into a different point in time. The solution keeps track of everything that is being updated and records can be kept indefinitely. Additionally, you can use this feature to navigate in future periods if you want to forecast a position that is coming in, a workflow activity, or any other component. And on the right side, we also have your individual settings if you need to change your password, your profile picture, or other details related to you. Now let's get started with the actual details on the IAC solution. Navigating to the group admin page. Now this is where you will actually get the capabilities to set up your IAC solution, including the core management functions, describing responsibilities, overall functions, individuals, entity setups, and if you need to, you can look at alerts from here. Starting off at the top left, we have the core management functions right here. Out of the box, we have the 14 core management functions described by the MAS. We have the ability to connect together descriptions associated with which type of firm. And we also have the ability here to create new functions if there are components or functions overseas that needs to be defined. This gives you the ability from a qualitative point of view to define your organization. On the right side here, you have the list of all responsibilities. Now, these needs to be defined by your organization and can later be mapped into core management functions and individuals. You can create new responsibilities from here, or you can also have them, if you have them defined from before, imported from other solutions like Excel or other technologies. Using the buttons here allows you to update or create new ones. Navigating to this Overall and Others tab, we have other responsibilities that might be associated with your organization. This can be overall responsibilities like legal, investment management, information systems, or other responsibilities like a whistleblowing champion, investment management, and so on. If you have components that are unique to your organization, you can also create them here. Going into the Peoples tab, this is where we find the list of all individuals within our organization. You can see under the Management tab here that we have the list of assigned people with senior manager staff and material risk personnel. There are also the list of all the individuals here, and if I want to, I can click into the name and navigate to that person's profile. If I need to, I can create a new individual manually by entering the details on the right side here. Or if I have set up an import from an Active Directory or an HR system, I can do that from here as well. Should anything go wrong, or if you need to keep track of anything, the system will output alerts and notifications. If you need to see the full list of all employees, you can click at this button. This will show you the breakdown of all the details, including who's the manager, the approver, hire date, and so on. Clicking on the Entity Setup page, you can see that we have the list of all the active entities. We also have the ability to define new ones here. In this case, we have a Hong Kong headquarters that can be defined. Clicking on the button will create it with all the capabilities, including the ability to map senior managers to core management functions. The last page shows the alerts, open alerts that you need to take care of, or otherwise just things that have been updated within the system. This takes us to the next part of the application, which is the entity management and setup. Each entity contains a whole array of functions, including a dashboarding component which shows the core management functions and the allocations of senior managers, the responsibilities and responsibility matrix, the fit and proper assessments, and conduct breaches and investigations. Now, these things and these components might be changed to fit your organization. However, they are generic to IAC. Starting with mapping, this is where you can map your senior managers to the core management functions. You can see that we have Chief Executive Officer, Chief Finance Officer, and so on in the application here. Now, in order to map the core management functions and which applies to this entity, there is the setup on this core management functions page. This also holds true for the responsibilities. Additionally, you can also map the overall responsibilities and other responsibilities like whistleblowing champion, things that apply to this entity. Going back to the list of mapped core management functions, we can go through the assignment of a core management function, and let's use the Chief Finance Officer as an example. If you look at the breadcrumb now, we have navigated down to the Chief Finance Officer. I can navigate to other functions using this menu. Here we have the ability to add a description to the core management function, but most importantly, the ability to map available responsibilities to that function's characteristics. Additionally, we have other responsibilities like legal, information systems, and the whistleblowing champion, and this is where you map the responsibilities an individual has to the core management function. The assignment process takes place in the Assignment tab. This is where we can assign or transition an individual to a function. Additionally, I can see who has had this function over time, and I can also see who holds it now and what workflows like onboarding processes that are currently taking place. If I click into this individual's name, it takes me to that person's profile page. And this is where I, as a senior manager, can get an overview of the responsibilities that I currently have, the roles that I'm undertaking, the workflows, the tasks that are being done. And I can also see things that are of interest to me, like my statement of responsibilities, if I'm running any certifications or fit and proper assessments, role management, or processes like temp covers. An interesting aspect of the solution is the ability to generate different forms. In this example, we have a form 11, and where you can see different aspects of the solution, like full name, appointed as, executive director, and some Boolean properties are converted into this form. Now, if I change some details like the appointment into non-executive director and update the page, you will see that the Boolean properties on the form itself will update as well. Let me go to the page. There you can see non-executive director, non-executive director. And as you can see, the system can generate reports and forms that you can pull out as PDF or Word documents that can be used and sent into the authorities. Back to the profile page, an important aspect of the solution is the ability to run workflows. The workflows can be onboarding processes, fit and proper assessments, or general things that are related to an individual. If I click into one of the workflows, you can see that I have an onboarding task to initiate this individual to become a Chief Finance Officer. And this includes generic tasks like senior manager briefing, role acceptance, different fit and proper tasks, review tasks. However, these workflows and the characteristics surrounding them can be individually tailored to the organization. Another aspect of workflows is the ability to include teams in solving them. As you can see from the breadcrumb here, I'm under employees and I'm under Carl Magnus. But if I click into the organization and I go into one of these team dashboards like the Human Resources dashboard, you can see that we get a list of active tasks, progress, different onboarding activities, and onboarding tasks that are planned. Now, HR can have a full overview of the initiatives and items that they need to solve. And similarly, compliance can have their own team dashboard where they get similar information. An element that is important to highlight at this stage is that individuals or teams can receive notifications based on activities that are going on. So for instance, if there is a new onboarding activity, compliance can receive an email that is sent out to the groups or to the members of the team with links directly into the solution. So looking at the menu, we've gone through the group admin pages, the team pages with human resources and compliance. We've looked at the employee or the senior manager dashboards. And we got some items left in the entity dashboard. We looked at the component of mapping individuals and onboarding them to core management function. And looking back into the list of core management functions, you can see from an entity perspective who is going through these different workflows, notification dates, submitted dates, and so on. Another aspect of the entity is the MRM, which shows the scope of management responsibility map, who are holds the different functions, what is the governance structure, and here you can see that you can upload documents like organizational hierarchy or maps that are related to your organization. Additionally, you can generate MRM reports like documents, and these can also be fitted to your organization. That gives you one document that explains the characteristics of your management responsibility maps, including taking in organograms and generated responsibility matrices. The last component is the fit and proper assessments, which contains an ability to create and map different individuals like material risk personnel or senior managers to different types of fit and proper assessments. In this example, you can see some of the generic assessments that would belong to the UK's version of IAC senior manager and certification regime. However, for the Singapore market, there might be similar types of assessments. Within the functionality, you can apply different fit and proper assessments to individuals like this. If you have different assessments that are going on, you can check the individual and check the type of fit and proper assessments that you wish to initiate and assign a workflow to that individual using the button below. This generates a workflow that again is linked to the individual's profile page. This demo shows a bit of the capabilities for Corporator's individual accountability and conduct solution, and if you should have any questions or want to do a deep dive, please let us know. Thank you.